Welcome guys sa ating panibagong Sir Ed's Math Tutorial. Sa video ito, pag-uusapan natin kung paano ang multiplication and division of radical expression. So, sa previous video natin, pinag-usapan natin yung addition and subtraction. In this case, multiplication and division naman po tayo. Okay, meron tayong sample problems dito kung saan sasagutan natin maya-maya, and let's find out kung gaano nga ba siya kadali. Okay? So, I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, kung mapapansin niyo guys, there are also several examples na kung saan may magkaparehang indices at meron din naman pong hindi magkaparehas. Also, meron din tayong division here, so 5, 6, and 7. Okay guys, so let's start. Okay, example number 1 tayo guys. Okay, so ito madali lang ito guys, no? Kung mapapansin niyo, parehas lang po ang index nila, which is square root. So ang target natin guys palagi is kailangan kapag nag-multiply po kayo ng radical expression or radicals, make sure na ang index nila ay parehas. So pag magkaiba sila, hindi mo sila pwedeng ipag-multiply dito. So, kapag ganito ang problem natin, just multiply. Just 8 times 2, you can have 16. So, since this is square root, automatic guys, the answer, since 16 is a perfect square, there is a number na pag factor out natin yung 16, which is same number lang magiging result na. So, 4 times 4 yun, that is 16. Kaya, the answer for this problem 1 is 4. You can also have another option, which is to factor out or simplify square root of 8 as this is 4 times 2 and square root of 2. There is another option palagi. So, since 4 ito, perfect square yan, i-simplify natin, labas natin siya, magiging 2, then may iwan is 2, then multiply natin sa square root of 2. So, if we multiply 2 times 2, we can have 4. So, we have 2 square root of 4. And since 4 is a perfect square, that is, the square root of 4 is 2. So, magiging yan ay 2 times 2. And still, that is equal to 4. Okay? So, any option po, kahit alin sa dalawang itong gamitin ninyo, okay lang. So, if you are going to multiply directly, walang problema. Pero kung mag-simplify kayo, same lang din ang magiging result. Okay, for number 2, we have here the cube root of 5 times the cube root of 250. Okay, so again, same index lang sila, which is cube root. So, ang gagawin lang natin, yung multiply lang natin siya, yung radicands, which is 5 and 250. So, if we multiply 5 and 250, we can get 1,250. So, since 1,250 is not a perfect cube, meaning i-factor out lang natin ang 1,250 ng, we have now, since 125 is a perfect cube, pwede natin gawin din ang 125 times 10. Because 125 times 10 is 1,250. And 125 is a perfect cube. There is number na kung saan pag multiply natin ng 3 beses, ang sagot niya ay 125. And that is 5. So, 5 times 5 is 25, times 5 is 125. So, we have here now, the final answer for this is 5. We have cube root of, ang may iwan sa loob will be 10. So, this will be your final answer. Okay, number 3 problem, we have the 8th root of 4a squared. So, ang target natin actually, pwede na mag-multiply ng index dito, no? So, i-simplify lang natin siya. This is to be simplified as, ang 8th root guys, pwede natin siyang i-simplify as the smallest index na lang, no? So, 8 is equivalent to 4 times 2. So, pwede natin sabihin na this is equivalent to 4th root of the square root of 4a squared. Okay, kung nasaan na yung 8, ito po yan. So, we have here 2 as index, imaginary. So, 2 times 4 will be 8. So, pwede rin po siyang i-rewrite as ganito. So, in this case, pwede na natin siyang i-simplify. Since 4 is a perfect square, and meron din tayong 2 dito, pwede natin i-simplify yan. So, this time, ang square root ng 4 will be 2. Kaya labas natin, magiging 2. And then a squared, cancel na natin yan, magiging a na lang siya. So, ibig sabihin guys, ang 8th root of 4a squared is also equal, or the simplest form is the 4th root of 2a. So, this will be your final answer. Okay, for sample problem number 4 guys, kung napansin nyo kanina na magkaiba sila ng index. So, ito, ang index nito ay 2, ito naman ay 3. So, hindi natin siya pwedeng ipag-multiply sa 2 times 2 since magkaiba ang index. Okay, here is the solution for this. Ang gawin lang natin is kailangan, di ba ang target natin is kailangan po parehas ang index nila. So, ang gagawin natin is to simplify this and ibabalik natin siya sa integral exponents, no? So, power of magiging exponent nila ay fraction. So, ang square root of 2 is also equal to 2 raised to 1/2. At ang cube root of 2 is also equal to 2. We have now raised to 1/3. Okay, kung napansin niyo talaga dito, magkaiba sila. So, ngayon, ang gagawin natin guys is kailangan yung denominator dito is maging magkaparehas. But same, ang 1/2 and 1/3 hindi mawawala ang value. So, mag-iisip tayo ng fraction na kailangan magkapareho ang denominator nila, pero still, pag nilawas term natin, 1/2 and 1/3. So, sa 1/2, we can assume that this is equal to 3/6. Because 3/6 is also equal to 1/2. And 1/3 can be written as 2/6. Okay, so again, 2/6 is 1/3 pag sinimplify natin siya, and 3/6 is 1/2. So, in this case, guys, parehas na sila ng denominator. So, pwede natin gamitin ito. So, this one, i-write natin ito, magiging 2. Instead of 1/2, gamitin natin yung 3/6. Because parehas lang naman yung value nila. 1/2 is also equivalent to 3/6. And then the other one is 2. Instead of 1/3, use 2/6. So, this time, pwede na po natin silang ilipat again sa radical expression since parehas na yung exponent or ang denominator nila. So, ilipat natin yan. Ang 2 raised to 3/6 is ganito po. 6th root of 2 raised to 3. So, yan na po siya. Then, multiply natin siya by 2 or the 6th root rather. The 6th root of, copyin ulit natin ang base which is 2 and then ang exponent niya will be 2. Okay, so parehas na ang index guys, pwede na natin itong i-multiply. So kung gusto nyo i-simplify ito, walang problema. That becomes, ang 2 cube will be 8. So we have 6th root of 8 times. Ang 2 square naman is 4. So magiging 6th root of 4. So pwede na natin siyang i-multiply, which is 8 times 4 is 8 times 1 is 8 times 2 is 16 times 3 is 24 and 8 times 4 will be 32. So we have now the 6th root of 32. Okay. So this will be your final answer. Okay, for example number 5. Okay, so we have here division na po tayo na. So the 4th root of x raised to 6 y raised to 7 over or divided by the 4th root of x squared and y raised to 5. Okay, as you can see guys, again, you cannot divide kapag magkaiba po ang index nila. So, para maging same ang index nila, gagamitin natin yung previous example, no? Ililipat lang natin sila sa integral exponents, yung rational exponents guys, before natin i-transfer ulit sa radical para magkaroon tayo ng same index. Now, in this case, since parehas naman yung index nila, all we have to do is, since parehas naman 4th root yan, ito lang gawin natin. Ano? We can rewrite it as the 4th root of, pag-isahin lang natin, then copy, we have x raised to 6, y raised to 7, all over x squared, and y raised to 5. Now, as you can see guys, this problem is similar to simplifying rational expression kung saan gawin natin, dun sa integral exponent, di ba nagma-minus lang tayo ng exponent kapag division. So, pwede po yun. Same base lang naman, then subtract na natin ng exponent. So, this one is equal to the 4th root of. Okay, ilitan na natin na. Okay, so here, the 4th root of. Since x raised to 6 and x squared ito, so pag kinopya natin yung base, subtract the exponent, we can have 6 divided by 2, 6, x raised to 6 divided by x squared, we have x, 6 minus 2 will be 4. Then for y naman, we have since y raised to 7 and y raised to 5, 7 minus 5 will be 2. So this becomes y squared. Okay, so pwede na natin siyang i-simplify. Ano? So this is also equal to, since equal ang index exponent, cancel na natin ito, ilalabas natin yung x. So we have now x, ang may iwan sa loob ay 4th root of y squared. But since pwede pa natin i-simplify, since meron itong exponent na 2, 4th root of y squared is also equal to the square root of the square root of y squared. So since square root of y square is y, this is equal to, cancel natin ito because 2 ang index dito, this becomes only square root of y. So square root of the square root of y squared is also equal to the square root of y. So pag nira-write na natin siya, copyhin lang natin ito, this becomes x and we have square root of y. So this will be your final answer. That is for the problem number 5. Okay, for numbers or sample problems number 6 and number 7. Okay, gusto kong pagsabayin siyang isolve since kung napapansin nyo guys, almost the same, no? But they are totally different. Especially the denominator. Kung napapansin nyo guys, x minus 1 is included in the radicands. But this one, 1 is a whole number here. So, hindi siya kasama sa radical expression. Ano sa baba, sa denominator. So, magkaiba rin ng solution ng dalawa. So, ito, pag ganito ang problem niyo guys, madali lang po itong isolve, no? Kapag ganito pa ang problem, all you have to do is to rationalize lang po, ano? So, ang process na gagamitin natin is rationalization. This is discussed in the previous video, guys. So, ang rationalization is kailangan ma-eliminate lang natin yung radicals or radical symbol na nasa baba by means of multiplying a certain number para na-eliminate siya. So, in this case, kapag ganito po ang problem natin, magkasama yung x minus 1 sa baba, multiply lang natin siya guys by another, the square root of x minus 1. Kailangan kasama po siya. Square root of x minus 1. Okay, so by this one, pag nag-multiply tayo, automatic direct lang naman mag-multiply. So we have x times x, or the square root of x minus 1 is x times square root of x minus 1. Then sa baba po, since this is square root of x minus 1, square root of x minus 1, this is also equal to the square root of x minus 1, tapos square. Dalawa lang po sila. So, pag sinimplify natin siya, magiging yan ay x square root of x minus 1. Then, all over, cancel natin ito. Cancel itong nasa radical expression. Then, x minus 1. Ito lang po ang magiging final answer niya. X times x or the square root of x minus 1 over x minus 1. Now, kapag ganito ang problem guys, na hindi kasama yung 1 sa loob ng radical symbol, ang process dito is rationalization, but this is what we call conjugate process. Okay, so ang conjugate is magmumultiply tayo dito na almost the same lang, kaya lang magkaiba ang sign. So, pag ganito pang problem, all you have to do is to multiply it by the conjugate of the whole number, which is, since negative ito, gagamit tayo ng plus. So, square root of x instead of minus, plus ang gagawin natin. Para ma-eliminate po. So, x plus 1. So, pag nag-multiply tayo, x times the square root of x plus 1, magiging x times the square root of x plus 1. And sa baba po, this one is, pag nag-multiply tayo nito, you can use FOIL method. Square root of x plus 1. By using FOIL method, guys, the square root of x, the square root of x, the square root of x times 1, negative 1 times square root of x, then negative 1 plus 1. So, pakita ko sa inyo kung paano yung FOIL method niya. We have now square root of x plus 1. Then, so multiply natin, square root of x times the square root of x is equal to the square root of x, then square. Then, square root of x times 1 is equal to the square root of x. Negative 1 times the square root of x is negative square root of x. Negative 1 times positive 1 is negative 1. Okay, so since ito guys, kung mapapansin ninyo, square root sign, tapos exponent, so mawawala ito. X na lang may iwan. And this one, positive square root of x minus square root of x, pag pinag-add natin or subtract itong dalawa, this becomes 0. Because may 1 dito, 1 minus 1 will be 0. So, ang may iwan na lang will be x minus 1. So, that is equal to, kopya natin lang sa taas, x times the square root of x. We have now plus 1 all over. We have x minus 1. Yun lang na iwan sa baba. So, pag sinimplify na natin siya, we have now x times square root of x is x square root of x. Then x times 1 is plus x. Then all over x minus 1. So, ito na po ang magiging final answer natin. Okay guys, so yan lang po para sa topic na multiplication and division of radicals. Okay, so I hope may natutunan. Kapag medyo magulo guys or medyo mabilis yung explanation natin, pwede nyo pong balikan para at least kahit paano ma-review ninyo. Okay, so see you again on the next video guys. Thank you for watching and ciao!